right, guys, welcome to part three. It's been a long journey so far, but man, it's really coming together. I think you'll be surprised when we finally get done with it, how well it's going to turn out. So, little hiccups along the way, we push through it. I think we are saving rock and roll, one guitar at a time. All right, we're back at it. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to be finishing the compounding and polishing of the front of the guitar. The back of the guitar, the neck, the headstock has all been done. We just need to do the sides and the front. So before we get started, we're going to do some taping to protect those pickups. And we're also going to be removing the strap buttons, because the strap buttons are completely discolored from all the tobacco use and everything from this old player. So we're going to clean those up, polish those up. That way they're out of our way when we're doing the polishing on the sides. And it gives us an opportunity to clean them. So. And we'll probably end up replacing those screws because those screw heads are in pretty bad shape. Again, I don't think a lot of people can appreciate how much attention to detail, how much work there is to do a job like this. And, you really got to love this kind of work to do it because it doesn't pay a whole lot. Right now, I bought a new bridge for it. It's coming in about a week. But, the amount of time and effort that we put into this so far is what, 3 hours? We've fixed some electric issues. We've polished some stuff. We completely fixed this front pickup, which had, I don't even think I got to film it, but it had a wire come unsoldered on the pickup. So when I cleaned the corrosion and everything from the bottom of the pickup, I ended up having to resolder that wire. We replaced all the screws on here. I mean, there's a lot of attention to detail. In fact, we replaced this switch. It's working good now. We've cleaned all those. We polished. We put a lot of work, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 hours worth of work on this guitar so far. Let's compare that to, a mechanic that works on your car. Mechanic that works on your car, normally you charge anywhere from $60 to $100 an hour. $60 to $100 an hour on this guitar. Let's go with $50 an hour, and we've got 5 hours into it. That's what, $250 so far, and that doesn't count for the time and that we still have to spend on it, or the cost of that $100-something bridge. So if I charge that much, you're looking at the cost of the guitar. I can't do that. So I charge less. I let the customer know that, hey, I'm going to use your guitar for a YouTube video. And because they allow me to do that, I charge them less money. That's kind of a way to keep the cost down. So really, truly, liking and subscribing is important because it allows me to keep those costs down. If I can ever get monetized. I'm not monetized yet. I don't have enough viewers or enough view hours and all that kind of stuff to be monetized yet. But hopefully someday, it'd be nice. All right, we got that one all taped up and protected. All right, got that pickup done. Got those protected. I'll take these off because they're easy to take off. I like to get underneath them. And really, these only serve as a decorative hole cover. They're not really holding the switch or anything in place. So take those off. Everything else we can leave alone. I'm not really worried about hitting these with the buffer or anything, or even that with the buffer or anything. we could actually cause more damage by trying to push them back into the cavity. So it's better just to leave them. I'll take this off just in case. Other than that, I think we're good. I want to start off down here. So I'm going to turn the guitar and start off in this pick area because that seems to be the most scratches. So far, man, I've been really impressed with how the back and the neck turned out. Took away a lot of the surface scratches. So we're going to see how this works on this heavily scratched area here. Hopefully it works just as good. It's been a few hours, so I got to shake this up again. Again, just a little bit goes a long way on this. So I also changed the tips out. I changed it to a smaller size so I can get into those areas a little bit better. So we're going to just try this area right here and see what it can do. Remember, on this first one, we go slow. All right, let's change that out to the medium button.
Snapping, wires sing sharp, hands are steady.
Well, it lightened up and polished that area real well, but you can still see all those pick scratches. I've got another idea of how to get rid of those scratches. You know what? Let's try it. What I've got and what I've used in the past that worked real well. And we're going to change the applicator pad. I've got some Meguiar's Scratch X. I've used this in the past on pick guards and guitars. It seems to work pretty well. And all it is a rubbing compound, to be honest with you. But it's supposed to take out all those fine scratches. Let me get another applicator pad. The green ones are a little bit more stiff applicator pad, so we're going to use this to see if it helps out. Let's go ahead and apply some. Yeah, man. I think, you're never going to get a lot of those scratches or all the scratches off. You can. Don't get me wrong. We would need to take this guitar completely apart, like I said earlier, and do a three step wet sanding, going from 1,000 up to about 5,000 grit sandpaper, and we could get a lot of that off, but it's costly. So I think that's pretty good. I think that's the best we can hope for with this process. I want to try one more thing to see if this will do anything more than what we've already done. Put a little bit more Scratch X just right here. Not a whole lot, because I'm just going to try to hand do it, putting a little bit more pressure. It's not as perfect as I would hope, but man, it's a lot better than what it was. So we're going to continue buffing. I'm going to go back to just the compound. Go back to that compound because this is truly where the majority of the scratch area is, and we've lightened that up quite a bit. I mean, you can still see some, but it's not nearly as noticeable as it was. So we'll go back with our normal compound that we were using. So this is where we've done. We came up right above the center line. This fills dirty. This down here feels baby smooth. And I haven't even put any polish on this yet. This is just the compound. Remember, we have to go back and kind of put a polish on there too. So this is couldn't be more pleased, to be honest with you. It's turning out beautiful.
Fixing strings and sipping dreams. Ted and Brian know what it means. Brand's got laughs and cut like steel. Hit that like, show me it's real. Sawdust flying, sweat on the fret.
Wow, let's hate that.
Chasing tone, I ain't called yet.
Like
family watching, I hope they
wood
see.
looks so much deeper now.
This mess of tools is all of me. Cameras rolling, can you feel the spark? Every click of flame in the dark.
What do y'all think? Looking pretty good, huh? Oh, it feels amazing too. Still, you can still see the scratches, but you know, it's just it's one of those decisions you got to make. I mean, do you want to spend the money on making a $500 guitar look like new, or do you want to spend that money elsewhere? So, all right, let's move this one up, and then we're gonna bring those strap buttons over. See what we can do about those. Yeah, screws need to be replaced. The cushion on them need to be replaced also. The little felt cushions are worn to where they're not even there anymore. And then these are just filthy. I'm looking for my other toothbrush. I have two. Oh, there it is. I'll brush these nicely. Get all that years of tobacco off there. Much more better. Polish.
Down Central Texas under that red hot sun.
So they're a little bit shorter.
There's a man with a wrench and a six-string run. He's got calloused hands and a heart that burns. Fixing frets and chasing tone that turns. From the firehouse floor to the old workbench, he's saving rock and roll on string and a ring.
Looks really good. All I do is I coat that head with. So I just put polish on the head of that. Let it sit for a minute or two, and then take a towel. Kind of buff it out with the towel. And in the end, it looks all bright and shiny. So it looks new. All right, got us some new felt for them. New screws. So I want to give a shout out to Straight Music of Austin. Had a working relationship with them for a while. Went in last year sometime and said, hey man, I really need some felt for my strap buttons. And the guy says, you just need felt? I said, yeah man, I can't seem to find any online. Can you help me out? He gave me a whole bag for nothing. He's like, here you go man. Like, well, how much I owe you? Oh, we don't charge for those, just take them. So shout out to them for customer service. My wife and I were just having a conversation yesterday about the lack of customer service recently in the world. Just seems to have forgotten the importance of customer service. And I tend to agree with her. I used to have the philosophy, very common, people would utilize the philosophy that the customer is always right, because you want to have them customers return. I can tell you that is not the case anymore. You go in to you go into a restaurant now and try to make a special order, and they look at you like you're wasting their time or whatever. I just don't understand the aggressiveness of the world right now. I don't know when it became cool to be mean, and what is the attack about on higher education and social services. I just don't understand any of that. We're here to help each other, and it just seems like the world is only looking out for itself. The people of the world is only looking out for themselves. That's sad. Coming from a firefighter that's been in the fire service for a long time, we do it to help others. That's our calling. Even as a fire chief, I know my days of going out and saving people in the traditional sense are over, but my job is still to save people. I just do that with making sure my firefighters have everything that they need to perform their job. That's my job now, to lead them, to set a good example, and to get them the tools that they need to succeed. It's not to be self-serving. I need to be looking out for my fellow man and my fellow firefighters. Because although I'm a fire chief, I still consider myself a firefighter first, the chief second. Well, that turned out nice. So I just put a little fits on these knobs. I don't want to replace the knobs. They're in good condition. They were a little scratched up and tarnished, like discolored. So I just put a little fits on them, let it sit for a second, and utilize it just like I would polish metal. I'm just polishing this knob, and it does a great job of taking all the scratches and really bringing that knob back to life. Oh yeah, man, that looks good. Heck yeah. Excelente. Well, guys, what do y'all think about this guitar so far? I think it's turning out pretty well. I think the customer is going to love it. I can't believe how lucky this guy was. How often does somebody say, "Oh, you can just have my Paul Reed Smith"? I don't think this guy that owned it originally had any family, so he left everything to his caretaker. She didn't know what she had, and he tried to tell her that that guitar is worth some money. I think he had mentioned that at one point she took it up to Guitar Center, and they offered her like $400, which is Guitar Center's used program. That's not bad. They normally will give you anywhere from 40 to 60% of its worth. So if you need to sell a guitar, they'll buy it. But when you do that, just know you're not going to get what you paid for it. You're going to get about 60% of what you could have bought, sold it for on the marketplace or something. You know what I mean? There is a pretty good dent on the back here, scratch. Not showing up on the camera real well. There it is. And it is truly just like a gouge in the paint. It's not flaking or anything. So what I'm going to do while we're waiting on all this stuff is fill that gouge with a little bit of gel super glue, and then I'll go back and sand it back down. I need more light than I got.
Strings are snapping, wires sing sharp, hands are steady in the smoky dark. Coffee's cold, but it fuels my fire. Dreams are brewing higher, higher. Fixing strings and sipping dreams. Ted and Brian know what it means. Brand's got laughs that cut like steel. Hit that like, show me it's real.
The nice thing about that gel super glue is that it doesn't dry on contact, and then so it gives you a little bit of time to work with it. What I'm doing is just making sure everything's kind of leveled out a little bit. We want a little bit left in that crack area.
Sipping dreams. Ted and Brian know what it means. Brand's got laughs that cut like steel. Hit that light, show me it's real. Show me it's
real. Oh, if anybody knows where I can get a stand that will hold a guitar in this position, feel free to comment. I need it.
To all the others out there tuning in, raise your mugs and let the noise begin. This is our tribe, this is our grind. Subscribe and stay, don't get left behind.
Sometimes it's better to let that glue sit on its own and dry, because it'll cause this kind of whitening of it. But I'll polish all that out. Just need to protect this paint a little bit by taping the edges of my so that's the area where I kind of whitened that super glue, but I'm taking it down and then I'm going to polish that back out. So, and I told the guy that I would be able to feel that, but you're always going to be able to see it. So what I'm doing now is just removing and leveling that super glue, and you'll notice that the paint is going to, around that area, is also going to be kind of scratched over, but we're going to buff that out to a point where you won't even see it. What I'm doing here is I'm just trying to get it to the point where you don't feel it. It's all smooth and level with the paint. I think I just got it there. There's one little crack. Yeah, that was it. So now we're going to buff that back out and make it look all nice and shiny. So this is the area we're going to be working on right here. See how I filled that crack in, and then I kind of leveled that back out. You can feel where I leveled it out. I may be able to take it down just a little bit more. I mean, it is pretty level. Here, now I can't even feel it. Yeah, that feels awesome. Doesn't feel like a crack anymore. Feels like all level. So let's work on that and get that back to color. I'm going to be using this Scratch X. Let's see what that looks like. Getting better. See where the scratch was? I filled that with super glue. Now it'll never start peeling or scratching again. Just we have to get the body back to polish. Let me go grab a couple of pieces of sandpaper. And I'm going to try just wet sanding that area, and then we'll polish it back up. All right, I got some 3000 and some 5000. So we're going to go with the 3000 first. And some water. Do a little bit of wet sanding right there in that area. Oh yeah, that's looking good already. That's going to be able to buff out pretty quickly. Now we're going to get some 5000 and do the same thing. All right, that looks like it's ready for buffing. Very smooth. So all we got to do is put a shine on it. Shine on your crazy ride. Okay, what song is that? So there's our spot right here. Just wet sanding it, got it all nice and smooth. But it still has a dull finish. So we're going to do one more layer of the Scratch X to just give it a kind of a compound. It's just a light compound, and then we'll put a little polish on it. See what that does. When you run your finger over that where that scratch was, now that we got it filled, you can't even feel it. You can still see it, but you can't feel it, which is kind of what I told them we would have to do. Is we could feel it, but you'll still be seeing it. All right, let's see what that does. Get a clean part of the towel. Yeah. What y'all think? Pretty good, huh? Now when we go back and when our battery gets on, we're going to compound this whole area. And that should completely take anything else you see away. But yeah, that filled up nice. Very, very nice. All right, let's clean up a mess. All right, we finally made it to the end here with this project. Just got everything kind of put back together. Remember last we spoke, we got it all cleaned up, was waiting on the bridge. Well, the bridge came in. Pretty simple process. Went with Tone Pro. They have an adjustable wraparound saddle type bridge, which was, whenever I was doing research, the owner really wanted to go back to original with everything. But when I researched this guitar, a lot of the problems were, a lot of the forums were talking about this wraparound bridge that came originally on here. So I thought I would do a little bit of upgrade on this bridge that would give it a little bit more stability, a little bit more tone control, less slipping. So anyway, I went with this Tone Pro bridge. Very nice bridge. It worked out real well. Intonation was easy. Setting it was easy, and it's a locking bridge. So these two bolts kind of lock down onto the studs, which is nice. We restrung it. We let the strings sit in tune for about a day and a half. So we did that. We let those sit for a while because this guitar didn't have strings on it for a very long time, and it sat in a warehouse, unconditioned warehouse, for a while. So what we thought was, hey, let's put the strings on it, and then let it sit for a while. Let it sit for a few days, and then we'll start the setup. So we put the strings on it. I set it in the corner and let it just sit in the house, get reacclimated. And to my surprise, when we started doing the setup, the first thing we did was check the action. And to our surprise, very little adjustment needed to be made. It was pretty amazing how this neck took all that weather and stayed straight, and then took that tension when we put the strings back on really good. We did have to adjust a little bit, so we know that truss rod is working. After we got the relief done, we checked the nut. It was great. We set the action with the new trim. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here she is. I think we decided this was a 2006 or 2008 PRS SE Custom. What she looked like when she got here was a holy mess, right? And we did a lot of work to clean her up. So let's talk about some of the things we did. We completely cleaned it. Typically, whenever I do a restoration job like this, I will wet sand, 3-step wet sanding, buffing, waxing, to bring this back to life. But we had a budget, so what I did is I compounded it and waxed it, and it brought the shine back very nicely. Front, back, neck, headstock. When you're up close to it, you can still see some of the surface scratches, which that's what the wet sanding and everything would take away. We completely cleaned, checked the levels and everything on the fretboard and frets. We polished the frets. We took all the tuners off. We cleaned them up. Remember, this was kind of a tobacco covered guitar. Everything that would be chrome was yellow. And whenever you took it off the rag, you could tell. We did find some wiring issues. Underneath this pickup, there was some corrosion, and one of the wires had come unsoldered. It actually broke right at a solder joint on the back of the pickup. So I resoldered that pickup, and I cleaned that pickup up, and it started working again. Did a tap test. Everything seems to work okay. Got it completely done. And when I got it done, plugged it in to do a sound check, and had some grounding issues. I had to go back and readdress those grounding issues. But again, this isn't a total restoration. This was just kind of a budget restoration. So to save money, to keep the cost down, I fixed the wiring back there. I expect him to come back in the next probably 6 months or so and tell me, hey, we need to completely rewire it. This PRS, this particular switches is not too hard to rewire. I could do that in a couple of hours, so it's not going to be that expensive to do. But again, we're trying to keep the cost down. So let's see what else we did. New Tone Pro bridge, easy to install. Intonation was great on it. It intonated very easily. Was able to get the action nice on it. The truss rod was still working. everything turned out beautiful. Probably of all the budget jobs that I've done, this one turned out the nicest of the budget jobs. I've done some really complete restorations, but this being a budget restoration turned out beautiful. I think he's going to be really happy with it. All right. Now, from the beginning of my channel, I always told you guys we were going to save rock and roll one guitar at a time. Here's another one, man. Y'all keep it rocking, keep it cool, and we'll see you next time.